Frank Slootman is a Dutch executive that has managed to IPO 3 companies in just a mere 15 years. In this video, I'm going to share his performance execution framework based on 3 key lessons that you can immediately apply into your own life to be at least 10x more productive. I'm Leon Castillo, CEO and founder of Selfmastered, which is a company that specializes in peak cognitive performance training for entrepreneurs, business leaders. We help people like you get much further, much faster. Now, before we dive deep, remember to like, subscribe, and do everything you know you need to do so that we can keep working on this channel to bring you the best content that will help you realize your entrepreneurial dreams much faster. So today I want to discuss something that to me is absolutely crucial, is how to transform your personal performance and the performance of your organization in record time, and do so with a proven framework, something that you know works in getting reams of luck out of whatever structure you have created or are a part of, and thus drive results. The lessons that I'm going to bring to you today come from Frank Slootman himself, which is, as I was saying, a Dutch executive that has worked as CEO of Data Domain, ServiceNow, and Snowflake, which are tech cloud companies, and all of them have IPO in the United States in the last 15 years. The goal of this video is to make you think about how well are you implementing these lessons, because if you do as he advises, I can assure you that you're going to become crazy effective over time. And this leads me to lesson number 1, which is narrow focus. See, this is probably the most difficult thing for most people, especially entrepreneurs. Narrowing focus, trying to do as few things as possible, but do them in the best possible manner. The average entrepreneur and organization is focused a mile wide and an inch deep. And this is no way of driving effective action and thus getting the results we are after. Doesn't matter where you look, there's always the possibility of doing less and harnessing the power of leverage of those things that have a higher impact to achieve those results with a fraction of the effort, time, and capital invested. And this, in reality, brings me to what I call the foundational mental model of peak performance, which is effectiveness versus efficiency. Efficiency is about doing everything the right way, which sounds good in theory, but you don't have time to do everything you would like to do. You only have time to do the things that need to be done. And that's what effectiveness is doing the right way, only the right things. Or as Frank Slootman would say, narrow your focus. Make sure that you know what are your priorities. If you have 3 priorities for the quarter, I'm sorry to say, but you're probably not focused enough. Find the key thing, the one thing that will allow you to move your business forward in a much predictable and reliable way. And make sure you actually do everything you can to achieve that goal. Success or results in the end is just about serializing one big thing after the other. If you try too many things at once, you will fail. This has been, of course, one of my problems when I first started out. I thought I could do everything I wanted at any given moment because I was smart and capable and had enough energy to devote to all these avenues for growth. But truth was, that was not true. So that's lesson number 1. Which leads me to lesson number 2, which is a consequence of lesson number 1. And that is increase velocity. I can assure that right now you are moving slower than you could move. There's a room for urgency in whatever it is that you are trying to do. If you compress cycle times and you really try to accomplish the same volume of work at 1/10 of the time initially considered, I can assure you that you will naturally find new innovative ways of getting to the same place at a fraction of the time. And that's the second lesson Slootman provides. The goal is to move faster than anybody else. And this is how you force yourself and the people working with you and for you to come with new ideas about how to do stuff. As you may have noticed, having a better focus also drives more speed and vice versa. You cannot move fast if you are trying to achieve too many things at once. That's the beauty of the model. If you narrow focus, you naturally increase speed. If you increase speed, you force yourself to find new ways of getting to that point of focus at a fraction of the time. And that's number 2. This lesson is crucial because in my experience, those that act swiftly, those that make fast decisions, normally make better decisions and get more return for their efforts. So speed is a cardinal virtue, is a first-class citizen. And think about how speedy you are in your daily life. If you like to take your time to decide, if you really want to have all the data in order to make a decision, you are probably lagging behind. And there's somebody else that's moving faster and may, hopefully not, eat your lunch. And the third idea, the third lesson, the third vector of this performance execution framework is to increase your standards. And this may seem a little bit counterintuitive because in the end, if you narrow your focus and you increase your velocity, quality of product or service might be compromised. And that's the challenge here. The goal is to do less, do it faster, but at a higher quality than anybody else. And you do that by turning last week's milestones into present week's standards. You need to be increasing your standards week on week and making sure that everybody understands that a standards is the minimum acceptable level of performance in your organization. Of course, if you are driving a highly focused, fast-moving organization, there's probably a lot of hiring going on, right? And you're onboarding people on a weekly basis. Well, they need to be indoctrinated in this way of working. Only by constantly striving to be your best, you will manage to constantly upgrade the business that you are building. And this is it. 1, narrow focus. 2, increase velocity. 3, up your standards. If you do all these 3, there's no way you won't achieve a superior level of performance. Of course, this is not easy. This will create resistance. If you have a large organization, there's probably a few trade-offs that need to be acknowledged and people that may vote with their feet and leave the organization. That's totally okay because your goal is not to make friends. Your goal is to deliver results to everybody that trusts you. That's your investors, that's your connections, and of course, your employees and teammates. So I leave you with this idea. Ask yourself, how focused do you work? How fast do you move? And how high are your standards? And more importantly, are today's standards higher than yesterday's standards? Hopefully they are. That's the only way of knowing you're actually moving in the right direction. This performance execution framework by Slootman is probably one of the best I've ever encountered. I've applied it and I've had results across all areas of my life, and I highly recommend you apply it. If you need expert help in applying it and really transforming your performance, we're more than happy to help you with that. See you in the next video.